from Shams Charania that Derrick Rose is heading on his way back to New York for Dennis Smith Jr. and an undisclosed draft pick. I'm assuming it's going to be a second, or maybe that Clippers first that the Knicks have. What are your initial thoughts on this trade?
Derrick Rose is not going to win a championship anytime soon. Uh, it sucks that he didn't make his way to the Clippers, where they're championship contenders, and D Rose could get that ring.
Yeah.
Tom Thibodeau, hopefully, he still believes in it quickly because he's shown a lot of talent and potential, and he's scoring in bunches. So hopefully, D Rose could just like be a mentor to him and not really take away too much minutes from him. I don't know what the like. Is it a trio now? Like Rose, Alfred Payton, and Quickly.
I guess.
So like one of them has to play shooting guard a little bit. Derrick Rose and Quickly are kind of scorers, so maybe they could get some minutes there. Yeah, it's just a minute concern, like whose minutes are getting cut out because Dennis Smith Jr. wasn't getting any minutes. So I wonder whose minutes are gonna go.
Yeah, it's a shame that he didn't get traded to a team like the Clippers, which would have been perfect for him because he would have had playing time, and it would have been he actually would have been able to help raise their playoff ceiling. But I don't mind the Knicks either. Obviously, the Tom Thibodeau connection, just a veteran, another veteran to bring to that roster. And the Knicks kind of started off as like a just a fun story, outperforming expectations. But I actually think they're kind of a real team now. Like they're right around there with the Hawks for me. The Raptors, they're better than like the Magic. They're just I think they're that 7 to 11 to 12 range in the East. They could be as high as a 7 seed, and if Miami doesn't turn around, maybe the Knicks even slip ahead of them in the East. Like you said, Emmanuel quickly off the bench. That bench is actually kind of fun to watch. They run a tight rotation. Obviously, the starters play huge minutes, but quickly's been really good. Rivers has been kind of up and down, but pretty good. Alec Burks, since he returned from injury, has been really good. With this trade, it makes me think that Julius Randle is probably not going to get traded. This seems like a win now move to me. Just double down on that hardworking culture that Thibodeau was setting there, and yeah, looks like the Knicks are trying to make that play in and maybe even push further than that and be into that 6 seed.
Yeah, my question is like, what does this trade really do? Like, why do you want to push for that 8 seed so badly? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like why push for an 8 seed when you have the no wheel superstar that's young and like can be a number one option on a championship level team? You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like Julius Randle, he's not going to improve more than what he is right now. RJ Barrett is great. Obviously, we love him because he's a Canadian, but
yeah.
if we're being frank, he's not a leader of a championship level team. Mitchell Robinson's a good center, and I
Mm-hmm.
think I think they're going around the Clippers and Raptors route where you're good, where you're not really good, and then you just trade for a superstar instead of going through the draft. Like trust the process. 76ers, even the Lakers who like went to the draft got a lot of talent and then traded.
Yeah, yeah.
So they're going around this Clippers and Raptors route, and it's a very new proposal, I guess, to the NBA because we've only been seeing it happen like the last like 10 years. It's interesting to see. At least RJ, we know he's gonna get an easier time on the floor now with Derrick Rose because it's another option. So less doubles,
Yeah,
less triples, stuff like
yeah.
that.
And he's actually been really good the last almost month. He's averaging close to 20. Really good 3 point shooting, really good percentage from the field. So he's trending upwards, and he's looking closer and closer to that third overall pick that he was just last year. And that's actually a really good point that you said. The last not even 5 years, last 2 to 3 years, the trend that we've been seeing in the NBA, like you said with the Clippers, even the Heat, is
Yeah.
just establish a culture, get in as an 8 seed, maybe get swept, just do outperform expectations, don't tank, double down on your culture, and you can attract superstars either through trade requests or in the free agent market. There isn't a superstar free agent this season, but yeah, the Knicks look like they're positioning themselves to be doing that. Their pick isn't going to be low enough to draft a superstar in the draft, and they're obviously not probably looking at even winning a playoff series, but just getting that culture, getting the Knicks back in the kind of respectable, uh, they're being
Conversation.
respected by the conversation of those respectable teams, and to start actually being considered as a free agent or trade destination.
Yeah, it just sucks because Dennis Smith Jr. was kind of the centerpiece of that trade for
Yeah.
Kristaps Porzingis, and he just got shipped out for Derrick Rose on a 1 year expiring, who's way past his prime
Yeah.
and who's gonna leave next year. Like Derrick Rose is not re-signing; he's gonna sign a minimum contract with a contender.
Yeah.
So yeah, it just sucks. Like looking retrospectively from that trade, because the picks. Correct me if I'm wrong. None of those picks are really playing out great from the Dallas side too.
To be fair, Porzingis is looking kind of more questionable as the weeks and months go on. So we'll have to wait another year or two to see where that trade kind of lands. But yeah, it's really a shame about Dennis Smith Jr. I haven't seen him play, and it feels like forever. I watch a lot of Knicks, and I haven't even seen him play once, really, that I can remember. Do you expect that to still happen with the Pistons, or is he actually going to get playing time there?
He has to get playing time, right? Killian Hayes is
Killian Hayes,
injured.
yeah,
D Rose was getting 20 minutes a game, or 24 minutes a game.
yeah,
Uh, the guy who's setting up point guard, Delon Wright, our guy,
yeah,
he can easily play shooting guard or small forward.
easily. Probably
Josh
better suited at
Jackson,
shooting guard.
yeah, Josh Jackson is playing that forward role, and Wayne Ellington. Those are guys that Josh Jackson's young, but like I'm pretty sure you want to prioritize Smith if he has any potential. So yeah, I would hope he gets some playing time. And if you look at his rookie year numbers, like
Yeah,
he was a good rookie. Like if you told me like he comes back and averages like 15 and 6, like his sophomore year when he was a
yeah,
rookie, I'd 100% believe that. And now that he's like struggling to get minutes
yeah.
on a clear rebuilding team 2 years down the line, yeah, like it would be tough for that to happen.
I hope he gets playing time there. Like you said, he had a good rookie season. We thought him with Luka Doncic was going to be maybe a nice duo in Dallas. Obviously, ended up getting traded in the Porzingis trade, and the Knicks, like RJ Barrett had such a bad rookie year because that roster was just terrible. It was even worse when Dennis Smith Jr. got there. He didn't really ever have a chance at succeeding in New York. He obviously is talented, one of the most athletic young point guards that we've seen in a long time. I hope he gets that chance with the Pistons. They're already the worst team in the league. What else can happen? Just take a shot on this guy. Maybe you get a nice backcourt with him and Killian Hayes going into the future. Maybe he ends up being even a trade asset or just a bench piece, whatever. He obviously has potential, and I really want to see that play out in Detroit.
Yeah, all like if Dennis Smith Jr. shoots 35% from three from for like the rest of the season, which is
Yeah,
a big if, but if he does, like there you go, you have a solid six man and a solid bench
yeah,
player because he could do everything within the three. It's just that 3 point shot that's
yeah.
really limiting him.
Thanks for watching. Listen to the Stretch the Floor podcast on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts, and follow us on Instagram.